This video is the beginning of the Unit 11 Test Review number 2 worksheet. We're starting with question number 12. Write the equation of a circle with a center of negative 3, 0, which passes through the point 4, 2. So let's go ahead and graph this first. Here is negative 3, 0. Let's change color so you can see that. Negative 3, 0, that's our center. It passes through point 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And the question is, what is the equation? Well, we need two things for the equation class, the center and the radius. We've got the center already, and that's right here. We got negative 3, 0 for the center. We're going to need to know the radius. Well, the radius is found by finding the distance between the center and a point on the circle. Let's make that a little smaller. We've got to find this length, and we can do that using the Pythagorean Theorem. So let's go ahead and create a, whoops, that's the wrong marker. Let's create a right triangle. We know the radius, or the length here, the hypotenuse of the triangle is going to be the radius. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 2. So to find the radius, let's use the Pythagorean Theorem. We've got 7 squared plus 2 squared equals the radius squared. That's 49 plus 4 equals the radius squared. This is 53 equals the radius squared. Now class, technically we can actually stop right there because we know that in our equation we are using r squared. So now let's write our equation. Our equation is x plus 3 squared, you're flipping the sign of h, plus, well, this is y plus or minus 0. We actually don't have to even write the parentheses because that's just y squared, because the k value is 0, and that equals r squared, which we've already figured out is 53. So there's our equation for letter A. Let's go ahead and take a look at letter B. What about the equation of a circle with a center at 0, negative 5? So again, we've already been given the center of the circle, and it passes through point 1, negative 3. All right, let's find these points. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, negative 5 is our center. It passes through 1, negative 3. Whoops, I forgot to label this as C for center. You know what? I think I got that graph wrong. Let's take a look. 0, negative 5. Oh, wait a second. That's not here. Let's get rid of that. 0, negative 5 is right here. 0, movement on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the y-axis. There we go. That makes more sense. And we know that, oops, let's label this. We're supposed to know that this is the center. Let's go ahead and draw our radius, which is actually the distance between these 2 points. There we go. And we're going to use Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of that hypotenuse. By the way, this length here is r. The length of this leg is 1, and the length of this leg is 2. So we've got 2 squared plus 1 squared equals r squared. That's 4 plus 1 equals r squared. So 5 equals r squared. We can stop right there again. There's no reason to find the value of r because we're going to square it again anyway when we put it in our equation. So our final equation is going to be, oh look, h is 0, so we just can write x squared. There is no h value. Now if you put x minus 0 squared or x plus 0 squared, it's not going to be wrong, but you need to recognize that we don't need to put that because there is no h value. It doesn't affect the value of x squared. It's going to be x squared anyway. And that's going to be plus y, flip the sign of k, going to be plus 5 squared equals, and our r squared value is 5. So there's the answer to question or letter B. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit, so hopefully you can still understand me. Question number 13. What is the focus, directrix, vertex, and p-value of the parabola? All right, let's label this. Well, I know the focus has to be this top point, and that's my vertex, and this is clearly my directrix. So my focus, this is my y-axis. My focus, here's my x-axis, so there's my origin. So my focus is at 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3. 0 on the x-axis, 3 on the y-axis. Our vertex is 0, 2. We're going to go 0 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis. Our directrix is every point where y, take a look at this, where y equals 1. So y equals 1. And then our p-value is the distance from the vertex to the focus, and that is a positive 1 value. It's got to be positive, class, because this parabola opens up. Our a value is positive, so our p value must also be positive. All right, let's try this again. Another graph. Let's find these values. Well, let's label this. This is my focus. This is my vertex. This is my directrix. Where is our focus at? It's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, negative 5. Our vertex is at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 2, negative 3. Our directrix is every point where y equals negative 1. So y equals negative 1. And then our p-value is the distance from the vertex to the focus. And that is 2. And this is an upside down parabola. That means our p-value must be negative. So it is negative 2. All right, we've got a little more time. Let's go ahead and see if we can get another question in here. Find the equation and graph the parabola with a focus at 0, 2 and a directrix at y equals 4. All right, let's go ahead and plot this. 0, 2, there is our focus. Directrix at y equals 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is our directrix. Go ahead and get that to be as straight as I can. Let's go ahead and label that as D. Okay, we know our vertex has to be exactly in between the focus and directrix, so our vertex is right there. So we know, let's go ahead and write this down. We're going to need to know our vertex in order to find the equation. Our vertex is at 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3. That means we know, let's go ahead and label this, we know this is H and this is K. All we have to find is our A value, and our A value can be found by looking at our P value. The value of P is equal to, well, from vertex to focus we are going 1 unit, and this parabola is clearly facing down since we're not allowed to cross the directrix. So the p value is negative 1. And that means we can find our a value. Our a value is equal to 1 over 4p, which is 1 over 4 times negative 1, which is negative 1/4. Now class, it's 1 over negative 4, but we can write that as negative 1/4. So now, our final equation, we've got a, we've got h, we've got k. Let's write it down. Y equals a, which is negative 1/4, times, well, h is 0, so we actually don't have to write. We can just write x squared, 1/4 x squared. You could drop the parentheses as well, I suppose. They don't really do anything. So it's just basically 1/4 times x squared. You know what? I'm just going to do it this way, class, just so we see clearly. This is x minus 0 squared, and then we keep the sign of k, plus 3. Of course, you can write this as negative 1/4 x squared plus 3. You don't have to put the 0 since that doesn't change our equation. And the last thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and graph our parabola. Since our p value is negative 1, the absolute value of that one is 1. Multiply it times 2 is 1 times 2 is 2, so we'll go to the focus. We'll put 2 points to the left, 2 points to the right, and then let's go ahead and do a quick graph of our parabola. Here we go. And we'll go through that F. That's not going to be a big deal. And there's our parabola. Alright, we got one more we can squeeze in before the time limit. Letter B. What's the equation and graph the parabola with a focus of 0, 5 and a directrix at y equals 0? Alright, so our focus is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our directrix is at y equals 0, which is our x-axis. There's our directrix. We know our vertex is exactly in between those two. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 units separating these two. So we're going to go 2.5 units. So our vertex is actually right there. So this is our vertex. I forgot to label that this is our focus. If that's our vertex, let's write our vertex then. So our vertex is at 0, 2.5. 0, 2.5. Alright, so what's our p-value? Our p-value is equal to the distance from the vertex to the focus. That's actually positive 2.5. So let's find our a value. A is equal to 1 over 4p, which is 1 over 4 times 2.5, which is actually 1 over 10. A value is positive. We know that because the parabola is facing up. We got A, we've got H, and we've got K. Let's write our parabola, or our equation. Y equals 1 over 10 times, again, H is 0, so x minus 0 squared, plus our K value, which is 2.5. And let's go ahead and graph our parabola. If p-value is 2.5, 2.5 times 2, class, is 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go ahead and graph our parabola. I'll do the best I can on this. It's probably going to be looking pretty bad. That's not too bad. I bet I can't do that again, though. Let's try this. Pretty cruddy, but I think it will work. As long as I see these 2 points and the vertex, I'll know that you calculated the 3 points for the parabola. Alright, let's end this and we'll continue on with question number 15 in the next video.